Okay. Full disclosure, everything in this game, everything I will be doing in this speedrun is completely legitimate. Because everything here is offered by the game, and I hate it. I don't want to speedrun this category, but I do want to set a precedent on what speedrun is and the fastest time possible for this game. Every if you're expecting like high action gameplay of this world record, unfortunately I have to disappoint you. You will never see any actual gameplay because of what the game has offered, and it's uh, it's not glitches. It's a feature in the game. So yeah. All right. What is this feature? Well, this is the feature that I'm going to be showing to you is something called Let It Be. I will not be using this for this level because we'll get to that later and why. But the Let It Be is a feature where if you find a puzzle that is a bit too difficult to solve, you can just skip it. And in a speedrunning perspective, it's a very powerful tool to just skip any puzzles. And how many puzzles you can skip? Literally every puzzle up until the last 3 puzzles. The last 3 puzzles you cannot skip. Everything else, skippable. And you will see me do this even for this puzzle. It's very easy to do this puzzle, but it's much faster to just do Let It Be, especially when precision is completely out of the window. So I am speeding through this, just scrolling through a bunch of images that I will not be playing because of this feature. So no stars. And yeah, that is something I will be doing for about, I don't know how many minutes. Maybe like 10 minutes? Not entirely sure. Oops. The only challenge is if you get a bit too early. I have no idea when it's early because there is no a good indication of when I should pause the game. So yeah, that's the premise of the speedrun. For my other world record video, I actually do these puzzles because, oh, it's fun. This isn't. So yeah. If you're going to be sitting here watching this video, I suggest you skip to the end. Or just watch an actual A Little to the Left speedrun. Not this one. Definitely not this one. I will say this, there is a use for Let It Be in an actual speedrun, for a cutscene skip. I'm not gonna show it right now, and it's difficult to explain, but yeah, the Let It Be feature can be useful, for an actual speedrun, but for everything else, it just trivializes anything that's happening in the game. And look, 3 minutes faster than actually doing the puzzles. here it's this section is also very quick. Though we were just gonna go ahead and get some seconds. This puzzle is like about like 2 seconds to solve. You would just go to the menu, skip it. No privilege involved. So yeah. Interestingly, this puzzle used to be random. Now the devs updated the game, and now that part is not random. This puzzle is also solved in 2 seconds. I think I'll just do some mini commentary before I go insane. Section 3. This is an area where the most time is spent on for speedrun, because there's a lot of sorting puzzles, like this one, where you had to put the batteries into the correct locations while also preserving its flow between the batteries. Some of the puzzles are pretty quick, like this one. There's stack coins. The other one, it's making coins dirty. Those are ones that are pretty quick, but most of the puzzles here in this section tend to be quite long compared to the other puzzles. Chapter 4. It has some interesting puzzles. There is one particular puzzle that shows up 3 times. It's the symmetry sorts. We got the seashells, the seed pods, and the leaf clovers. Those are bane of our existence in the speedrun because the location of the objects in a symmetry sort are random. The shell symmetry sort also has a cat trying to ruin you, which is annoying and very unforgiving, depending on the bad REP you get by trying to fix what the cat messed up. So that's something that is very, very difficult to deal with. But in general, symmetry sort is pain because it makes. Okay, this is a symmetry sort puzzle right here. That's the she cells. Everything here is random in its position, and it doesn't really help, especially when you have to move things out of the way so that you can put the item in its position. Because you cannot solve the puzzle if there's an object on top of another object. Here's another symmetry puzzle. These ones are very bulky and... oh. Should be done with this section. I think it's been like 3 minutes to just skip through each section. This puzzle, interestingly, is not random. For the order of the flies, the only thing random is where the flies go to and their AI. Chapter 5 is definitely a lot shorter, and will contain the 3 finale of puzzles. And it's a very interesting section, because it's not dealing within the confines of reality. This puzzle is quick, but honestly, we don't really care. I will comment on this puzzle, Constellations. It's probably a very consistent puzzle, but also just, I kind of just YOLO it. Don't know what the heck I'm doing, so I skipped that. Well, I just YOLO the constellation. It's just like, I don't know, I just grab stuff. Candles. This is the only random puzzle in the game. It used to be also, well, that's not true. We got shell symmetry. Yeah, this puzzle is random. It can be unforgiving on what's the arrangement of the candles are in terms of its length and length. So they can be very ruthless, or it can be just awful. Okay, now we're finishing this chapter. We're now at the finale puzzles. Now you cannot skip the finale puzzles, but we're gonna go ahead. Go here. We're gonna watch this cutscene of every single puzzle being formed. So the finale puzzles are not skippable. Those are the only ones that cannot be skipped under any circumstance. Well, according to the devs. However, we're gonna use a glitch that just skips the finale in its entirety. every 3 finale puzzles are skipped. This matters because the first finale puzzles contain a very long cutscenes where each puzzle are very simple to solve, but each cutscene is just slow. The next puzzle is Tumblewares. This does take some time, and the third one is the tower. It does contain a cutscene at the beginning of the puzzle, and does contain some random elements. But mostly the first finale puzzle takes a lot of cutscene time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to the first puzzle. We solved the very first puzzle, and we're going to go ahead and pull off a glitch. So here, I'm going to pause, let it be. I'm going to let it be here because it's very glitchy, and you'll see why. I'll be going back to that puzzle again, and oh, we're just gonna go ahead and move on. Pet this cat. And oh, we're now in a Tumblewear, but that's the next level. What happened? Okay, I'm going back here. We skipped the first finale puzzle. This is what we call Let It Be storage, because you are not supposed. The game is tricked into like, oh, apparently you solved that puzzle twice, so you want to move on? And yet I want to move on. So we're now at Tumblewear Tower, and I'm gonna go ahead and do one last storage. And then we solve this puzzle, and we're moving on to the next puzzle, which is going to be the credits and time. 16:51:26. This category with the puzzle skips is dumb. As you can see. So yeah, that's literally the entire game with puzzle skips. You cannot, under any circumstance, skip these puzzles. So they have to perform that glitch. What's very interesting about this glitch is that you can't actually do this glitch for the credits. So, okay, since the speedrun is I can show you what I did. So I line this, and then I don't let go of the mouth. I don't let go of the painting, so I'm still holding the left button of the mouse. But what I'm going to do while holding is hit escape. I will hear a sound indicating that I solved the puzzle, but I didn't. So which means if I say let it be, I solved the puzzle. And now the game is confused, like, oh, I solved the puzzle twice. So there's some weird things happening that happens here. For instance, in the credits, I solved the credits and I want to move on. Okay. Where does it take me? It doesn't crash into the game. Oh, I'm back at the title screen. Interesting. Okay. If that's the case, what happens if I do it on a normal puzzle? Or maybe like this cutscene right here. Oh, I saw that. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Let's try it again. But this time, we are gonna go ahead and go here, immediately pausing the game and exiting. And we saw the title screen. Interesting. What happens when we move on from the title screen? Oh, we just come back here at the very beginning. Interesting. That's interesting. So we go from credits to title screen to beginning of the game. That's very interesting. But I'm quite curious now. What happens? Oh, I screwed it up. What happens if I hit the redo button? Redo puzzle on the title screen. What happens? Well, exit screen, solve the title screen. I'm like, okay, what does I say? And we crashed the game. If there is music, it will be still playing, so it's not technically a crash, but it is a hard lock. Yes, there is a hard lock in a puzzle game that is not a platformer or FPS. And there's a hard lock. So yeah, that is the A Little to the Less speedrun where you just abuse the puzzle skips. And it's so boring that I don't want to see it again. Alright, see ya.